live. It looks like the live stream has begun. I'm Brian G. Johnson, and it is so great to be here. Really excited to move forward today and share some thoughts and ideas that are not theory, but are based on strategies and tactics that I've personally used for many years to really draw in an audience. And I want to start out with a comment that I got from a subscriber. I really do pay attention to my community, to the people that watch my videos. And Patricia is someone who's been, watching me for a while, and she's got a really great question. I thought we would start the live stream off today. With that, again, I want to welcome you. Just let me know where you're coming from. Hey, there's Rob. Rob, it's great to see you. And Reef Rookie, Logan is another great example of someone who's moved forward and really done well on YouTube over the last handful of months. And I want to start off with this statement right now. I want you just to do your best to get in touch with what you really, really want and what you're willing to do to get it. Now, what's really interesting is so often I see so many comments from people that want views. They want subscribers. They want the growth and so on. And yet they feel like it's unfair. It's not working. They're intimidated. It seems all too much. And they give up. And yet people just like Rob, who joined this particular live stream, people just like Logan, that's Reef Rookies, who's joined the live stream, they've captured success, but they didn't do it with a handful of videos. In fact, I really don't know anybody that's come onto YouTube and had a sustainable channel where they have a community that comes back and again and again and again, that did it, in a handful of months. It usually does take some time, but it can be so very enjoyable. So if that sounds good to you, like really understanding how to get there, what success looks like, those are the things I really want to talk about today. What does YouTube success look like? And frankly, I'm going to put on my blue block glasses. Oh, and right there, see, I like this because you don't see the reflection, but oh, that looks horrible. I can't do it. Anyway, those are the things we're going to talk about today. Morning cleaning with charm. So good to see you, Pete. Welcome to the live stream. Beach Bum, Bo Reynolds. Bo, another longtime subscriber. Guys, it's great to have you on the live stream. I'm really excited to share. So here's what we're going to do. This is going to be pretty informal. I'm just going to start talking about YouTube growth. And the first thing I really want you to do, like if you're open with me kind of sharing like you're a friend, it's just you and me, we're hanging out and you're like, well, gosh, how can I make this work? The first thing I would say is, what does success look like to you? This is fundamentally a very simple but nuanced question. If you want to make money, that's a lot different than having fun and growing a community. So the thing that I would encourage you to do is really get in touch with what matters the most. Trap Vision, good to see you live, my friend. Barb, USA, she's here too. All the cool kids made it. Great to see you guys in a live stream. I used to do these live streams all the time back in the day. Now we're kind of getting back into it. So my question for you again is, what does success look like? And what is the thing you really want above everything else? If it's income, then that really has to be at the forefront of your thought process when you make the decisions that will allow you to reach your goal. If you just want to have fun, this is an interesting one. Like, you just want to have fun, but maybe you want to be creative and you don't want to pay attention to all the rules and you're not sure about a niche. Oh, but I still want to get the views. Sadly, in my personal experience, you don't get to have all the things unless you're one out of about 5 million, right? 1 in 5 million, Casey Neistat, PewDiePie, these individuals that have really charmed life and a skill set that is high above most YouTube creators. So I think it's really important, if you want to succeed, to just honor the thing that really creates this idea of success. So Patricia, like I mentioned at the beginning of this live stream, I just want to really address her question. And if you frequent my channel, I do my best to respond to all the comments. And what's so interesting is the ones that are really thought-provoking, I often, like, I don't respond right away, and I just I'll be responding to people, but I'll think and I'll ponder. And her question starts with this: still, I have a question. How would you measure success on YouTube? And for me, this is where it begins. And you know what? It has nothing to do with money, income, a little bit of maybe views and community, but it's more based on how I'm going to spend my time. Like for me personally, I love creating content. I love writing books, and I'm looking around. I don't have one of my books here. I've written 2 books, right? I love the idea of scripting out a video or coming up with bullet points or outlining a new book. I actually started doing that this morning. And for me, how I spend my time is critically important. So I put that at the very top because the most important thing isn't how many views I get. It's how I spend my time getting the views I get, as long as I can also do some of the other things. So for me, success is really how I spend my time with the ability to make money, right? Because I do this at a level of a job, of not even a job, like a calling, something that I'm called to do. Like I love creating content. And sure, I took some time off for a few years, but when I really look back at my journey, I've been creating content online for over 23 or 24 years. Again, multiple books, products, brand deals, and YouTube was really the thing that I fell in love with because it really encompasses so many of these things. So that's kind of how I really like to think of it. And I want to encourage you to get really clear on what matters the most, and then understand that probably you're going to have to sacrifice. Here's what's interesting. A lot of people don't want to hear this. They want, again, to do the things they want to do, but they also want to get the views. And sadly, it doesn't happen for the vast majority of YouTube creators. That is really a bummer. But those that can play the long game, like I kind of mentioned, Rob jumped into the live stream. Reef Rookie, that's Logan. Like he's been a part of my community for years now, and I watched him struggle, and he's doing really great. Sorrow, it's nice to see you as well. So the thing I want to encourage you to do is to get really clear with what you want, and then make yourself like this game plan that you're going to focus on moving forward so you can make it happen. It starts with success in how you spend your time. And then do you want money, community, views, brand deals? Like this is a great example. I do like brand deals until I don't. Sometimes working with a brand, you can feel a certain sense of pressure to talk about a thing, and I want to create in the way I want to create. So I love coaching. I love writing my own books and products and doing affiliate marketing for products I see valuable. And honestly, like, excuse me, I mentioned my love of creating. Like if you are a frequent viewer, you don't see me pitching a lot of products, because for me, the last year has been about rebuilding. And if you want to make money, please listen, because there's no question whether or not this is on the money. Nothing comes from YouTube until you build a dedicated audience that returns to your channel. Okay. So for me, right, when I came back to my channel, if you don't know, I launched this channel about 2016. After 2.5 years, I was doing very well. I had days where I was driving 25,000, 35,000 views a day, gaining as much as 7,000 views. And then I went through a difficult time and I needed to step back, but I came back. And one of the things to consider is like I had to rebuild an audience, because a huge percentage of people that used to watch me, they've given up. And here's what's really interesting about YouTube, right? For someone like me, when someone gives up on a hobby, they're not reminded on a daily basis of their decision to give up. But on YouTube, you know what those people do? They continue to watch. They continue to watch. They continue to see videos like me. So for a lot of people that, they kind of gave up on the dream, they've unsubscribed. And today, for me to hit about 700 subscribers, I should say zero. For me to have a month where I get 0 subscribers, I actually have to gain 700 subscribers, because that's how many people unsubscribe from my channel every single day. Now, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because the journey that I'm on is very similar to the journey that you're on if you're trying to grow an active community. And it might seem like I have it made, but I promise you I do not. I'm a human being. I'm deeply flawed. I have problems and whatnot, but I've done it a really long time, and I'm really, really stubborn. And today I'm really also very proud of my abilities to capture beautiful photos. And like, I love, Grandpa's in the house. Good to see you, my friend. So many cool, Tim is here too. Man, all the cool people. Guys, it's just really great to have you here. We're just kind of talking about YouTube success, and we're kind of building up. I can't wait to take your questions. Welcome, everybody. Again, if you haven't hit the like or share button and you're digging what I'm kind of laying down, feel free to do that, and let's kind of keep chugging here. So back to Patricia's comment, she said, I have a question. How do you measure success? For me, that's how I really think about things. Furthermore, I know when I started, and I know right now I'm going to do this for a while. And I can try to focus on how to get monetized and ask questions about monetization and where to place the ads. These are small potato things to focus on, right? Like, not everything that you hear about when it comes to YouTube growth, not all of those things are measured equally, right? Like, if you have really bad CTR, then the first thing to do is focus on that. If you can't keep people watching past 3 minutes, really, if you're publishing 10-minute videos, which I suggest you do, I would say 5 minutes. Like, if you can't keep people watching for 5 minutes, forget about monetization. This sounds weird, but what do you need for monetization? Yeah, watch time. So if we can really focus on the core fundamentals of the things that matter the most, we can push everything away and really dial in and focus on what matters the most, making it easier for us to improve our results, because now we know how the game is played. So that's the first thing, how to really measure success. And the second part is, how do you know if you're going in the right direction? Okay, the first thing, this is really important. If you've ever, Gemini vending in the house, all the cool kids showing up, 47 people on a live stream for a channel that doesn't live stream too often. That's pretty cool. The thing to think about is this: how do I know if I'm doing the right things to make it happen? This is critically important. Like, if you're ever worried about wasting your time, this next part of the puzzle is critical. How do I know if I'm making the right decisions? The first thing you have to do is you have to get really clear on what matters the most. And if you just said, oh, goodness, hey, Gord, it's good to see you too. And this is for you. And really, it's for anybody that wants to succeed. You have to be clear on what the most important things are. You probably already know them, but you might not be getting the results you're after, and you think everything is broken because I'm doing this thing, but it's not working. But let me ask you, would you be willing in a handful of months to go on the field against the Dallas Cowboys, and you're the opposing team, and your job is to guard the quarterback, and that guy that is across the field, he's staring you at the face and he wants to kill you to get to the quarterback? Are you willing to do that? You've been eating donuts on the couch. You haven't touched a football in ages. Are you willing to put yourself in that position? Because YouTube and the channels that have what you want, they're doing this thing every week, uploading multiple videos on the regular, and they're dialed in, and they know, they're comfortable, they're confident in the things they're focusing on. And if you feel like it's just not working, I really want you to, one, get really clear on what matters the most. CTR, write this down, grab a pen, some paper, write it on a, chalkboard, put it on your phone, do whatever you need to. Like, here's the thing, like most people play it like it's a hobby, but they want full-time results. Now, what's really cool is after a while, you can work 20 hours a week and do amazing things on YouTube, but there has to be a season, a period where you're dialed in, focused, and you just push everything else away. No, I need to do a live stream today. I need to work on that outline or script. I need to get better at my thumbnails. And once we do this, right, we understand the most important things and we let go of everything else. Tags don't matter. Hashtags, they don't matter. What time you publish doesn't matter, because the algorithm really wants to measure how much viewers are engaged with a video. And when you really go into analytics, I mean, it's right there. The navigation in analytics, one of the headings is engagement. And a lot of those metrics are kind of really important. Average view duration, percentage viewed, and don't get hung up on it either. Like, just keep the viewers watching longer. That's it. You don't have, well, should it be the percentage viewed? It's just simplify things so you can take a breath. It's literally like, this is what I focus on, 10 things. And I published a video about 3 days ago, and it's driven 12,000 views. Now, Rob, who might be in the channel now, he's doing better than that. Now, I might think I'm not worthy or I'm missing something, but I think it's really important to honor your journey. And it's important for me to do the same and to honor my journey, okay? So the thing I try to do is I do my best to recognize that. And I say, okay, well, that's Rob, and he put in the time. He's been grinding it out. And now it's his time. I'm the old man on the block. Man, I've spoken at events. I'm at Vid Summit last year. People are like, Brian Johnson, Brian. Like, that was, whoo. That was amazing, and I got to appreciate these beautiful moments. And I want to let you know that you can do it too, right? And I get choked up, because, okay, I'm good now. I get choked up because I'm an emotional guy, and I put my heart and soul into this. I took a lot of time away, but I was still, what's weird is I still had a camera in my hand the whole time. And I was dialing in this kind of thing, lighting and watching the videos and thinking. And I'm not saying the damn algorithm. No, I'm saying, what can I do? What am I in control of that can help me reach the next level? So like, when I went to Vid Summit and people were like, thank you so much. That's pretty awesome. And it feels good to be back. And I know that a lot of you really want it. And I know a lot of you are going to be in it for the long haul. And the sooner we can let go of the things that are kind of superficial and so on, I think the sooner we can really kind of make it happen, right? So that's, I'm telling the story about Rob and not comparing my results to his, but my results are improving. And I wonder what would happen if you had the focus and dedication that I do. And honestly, I'm doing pretty good right now, and I'm taking steps into the next step of my journey. And that's really gratifying and fun. And I'm wondering how far I'll go. And, that's the question for you too. But until we really give it our all, and start taking our desires seriously, we won't ever know. So I think a lot of people that might be watching this right now, including you, okay, like you want the results, but you know you're not doing the thing. Like, are you uploading enough? And just let me know, please. Can we get real for a moment? Like, are you uploading enough to facilitate the journey that will allow you to learn and improve the skills that actually matter? This is plenty, but are you using it? If you want a phone, cool. I'm sorry, if you want a camera, that's awesome. Get a camera. But that's not the thing that's going to get you the results. Pardon me. So this is kind of how I wanted to start off this particular live stream. And I wanted to share with you about success, making it happen. And it really begins for me with time. And now the second part is like, how do I know if I'm going in the right direction? You have to get to the point where you say, I believe in this. Like I mentioned CTR, it's very important. I mentioned average view duration. I love average view duration because it's really, really simple to measure. I mean, come on. If we're really honest, it's pretty darn simple, the algorithm. And again, if you're just not there where you're not believing, that's cool. But I hope you can get there. And I would say the thing to think about is if you're not sure about the YouTube algorithm is how does it make decisions? It makes decisions because it hates your channel. I just think that's silly. Like YouTube just wants to find a video that viewers really enjoy, they're satisfied with. And the way they do that is to measure the performance of the video with the analytics we have access to. This is why average view duration matters. It's probably the leading metric that measures satisfaction. People don't watch for 20 minutes on a 30-minute video unless they really love it. Now, sure, there's an exception. Someone fell asleep. But when a video has an average view duration across 10,000 views, that's the average length of the view, right? The duration of the view across thousands of people. So the thing I want to encourage you to do is just get to the place where I'm like, these are the things that matters. I need to get better at this. Get out of my way. I shall do that. And I am really, really, really stubborn myself. Hey, Ray, it's so good to see you. Here's what I'm going to do, pal. I'm going to open it up for questions in just a bit, but I'm on a bit of a roll right now. I want to just honor this question that I'm, really stringing out here now for 23 minutes from Patricia. And then I'll open it up. So the thing to consider is like CTR, it needs to be at 5% most of the time for most creators. In fact, YouTube mentions, now this is interesting. What I'm going to share comes from YouTube, and I've seen it in my analytical reports. The new reports that are showing up on mobile, like let me see if I can show you guys. One of my newer videos. I think this video has it. Maybe here. Yes. Perfect. So can you guys kind of see right here, that little blip right there by my thumb? It's kind of a teal color. Those are the reports based on videos as well as your channel report. Now, I've seen these come out not only for individual videos, but for the performance of your channel over a month. Have you guys seen this? And one of the things... No. I was saying the report in YouTube Analytics really covers your 30-day performance. And in that, it really gave me some great breakdowns. And this is brand new information. YouTube has never really peeled back the curtain on what numbers you should strive to hit. And they mentioned videos that are, 10 minutes of length or so generally have a CTR of a 10% and higher for videos that perform exceptionally well. Oh, man, that is Kevin Colby in the house. Pam Duthie hanging out. I see, dude, your name, man. I love you, brother. Is it Nick? IDIC Beer 40K. Woo! Simplify the name for me because I'm too old, man. But jokes aside, it's so good to see so many people hanging out. We've got 79 people here. 79 people in a live stream. And if you'd like that someday too, if you'd like to publish a video that gets 10,000 views, 100,000 views, 1 million views. Has anybody published a video that's driven 1 million views? Let us know in the comments. In fact, just let's do this for fun. We got 83 people. This is a little bit of a scientific a test. Okay, so we'll see if this triggers more viewers. I bet it will. How many views have you had? What's the highest view count for a video you've had? Shorts, I don't care. Long stream videos, long form videos, doesn't matter. Let us know. So anyway, like I was saying, these are the things that really, really matter. And I think, how do I know when I'm moving forward in the right direction? When you believe you understand the core fundamental basics, when you don't overanalyze or overthink, you continue. Jason Moffitt in the house with 3.2 million. Jason, nice to see you too, brother. And these are the things to think about, right? So CTR, average view duration, and YouTube is now telling us 10%. On videos that are 10 minutes or longer, the highest performing videos have a CTR of 10%, and that's really, really hard to hit. Okay, now my video with 1.9 million views on a long form video had a CTR of around 9 to 10%, and it held that position, and the metrics held up for about 2.5 years, and that's how I got 1.9 million views. So the thing to think about is, like, we want a really high retention, or I'm sorry, a CTR. We want great average view duration. Also, the retention, I just mentioned retention, that does matter too. And the more we can just honor these things and strive to improve them, the better. In fact, I'm going to make a video soon, and this is kind of the hook. So are you always thinking about hooks and whatnot? And if you are, awesome. But if you're not publishing, what up with that? I mean, just get on with it, man. Like, you can't theorize yourself to success. There's no way to map out how it's going to look, because I guarantee by week 2, the plans you had laid will change and you'll be doing stuff you hadn't even anticipated. So just get on with it and publish a video, please, because I can't wait to answer your comment. I can't wait to see you in my live stream talking about how you drove millions and millions of views. If I did it back in the day and I'm doing it again, you can too. Can I get a hallelujah? Do we have any believers in the house? So that's really the start of how to know if I don't want to make a mistake. How can I know that it's going to be okay? Number one, be okay with making slight mistakes. It won't be perfect, but you also want to be very confident in this is the thing I need to do and focus on, and just choose one. That's it. One thing. Publish a video. Publish a video. Okay. And when you do that, then a few days later, I want you to go back to your video, watch the video, and really think, well, okay, I need to keep them watching longer. I need to improve my CTR. I need to make sure I'm really dialing in my video titles. My titles are solid. I've got titles that are compelling, but they're also based on topics and keyword phrases that people value. And if I say keyword phrases and I lose you because you think, oh, search isn't the way to go, or that's old school, that's cool, but you're wrong, because the algorithm, how do you think it connects a viewer to your video? Words. All right. So these are kind of the ways, right? And this is the beginning of it. And you get to a place where you're comfortable and confident, and now the real work begins, because you can publish a video, go back, choose one thing and say, my audio sucks. By the way, how is the audio? How is the image? It looks pretty good from where I'm sitting. I'm kind of digging the colors. Like, let me show you the magic here. I don't just do this for anybody. But for you, I'm going to show you, peel back the curtain a little bit on the magic. Okay, we got a tube light here. This is a fantastic tube light. I love it because it runs on battery power. Furthermore, I can make myself look like a Sith Lord or a Jedi, which is always cool, right? So I can kind of bounce this against the wall, and I've kind of got this blue, teal, orange because it's kind of a color that just is very appealing, so on and so forth. And, you know, that's just how I go about my journey. Like, what I'm sharing was created out of necessity back in the day when I was growing my channel. Hey, Karen, good to see you. Tony, what's going on? I'm pretty sure it's Tony, right? Simply Gardening. Good to see you, brother. Andy Shepard. Lots of people in the house. We have 82 people. Pretty incredible. Skywalker. That's right, my friend. And I was doing pretty good back in the day. I was driving, you know, 1,000 views per video, 500 views. I was getting 700 subscribers a month, 1,000 subscribers, but I wanted more, like most of us. And I really developed this routine of it's just 10 things. Just focus on 10 things. Nothing else matters. When you make a video, when it's done, you publish. And then you review the video. You choose one thing out of the 10, and then you strive to improve it. So if your audio sucks, you focus on that, and that's it. Right? You don't deviate, you don't get sidetracked. You just try to improve your audio on your next video. And if it's still kind of lacking, then you continue to focus on your audio. And when you do this over time and you're publishing videos, Tony, awesome. Good to see you. Tony was a coaching client. Pam Duthie was a coaching client. And it's so awesome to see so many people that I've worked with in the past, like Daniel Patel and my pal Nick Nimmin, you know, and all the people, you know, that I came up with. And a lot of those folks are still rocking it, and you can too. So anyway, let's continue. So like I was saying, like, that's really the process. And that is really comforting, knowing that you're focused on what's most important. And if you follow that blueprint, it's so stupid and simple, you'll do better. Here's the rub, right? Like, I'm literally going to release a new course, and Pam and Tony and anybody that's bought my coaching program in the past, they'll have access to the new thing. And I hope I write a new book based on this, because it's so powerful. And I think the market needs it. And I don't like the way that came out. I think people need it. I think people are completely overwhelmed. I think people don't understand what to focus on. And it's just so hard to watch, you know? So, you know, these are my plans. And when I came up with the system, which I've shared with Pam and some of the other coaching clients, of just like focus on one thing at a time, strive to make small little changes that are possible, because otherwise it can be so overwhelming, right? You can really go places on YouTube. Another thing that's really important, Bostar, good to see you, brother, from Ireland. Fantastic. Boca. I dig Boca, Bushido. Anna like Bushido. I think that's a Japanese word, which is basically like some high level thinking and dial everything in, kind of ninja style. That flow has really served me. And that's the thing I would encourage Patricia, who I've kind of been going off this comment that she left. If you're just jumping into the live stream, 90 people here, not bad for a guy who doesn't really live stream too often, right? It just shows you that anybody can make it happen. Anybody, including you, no matter your age or your race, no matter your income. Maybe you're on a phone and you're worried about that. I promise you can make it happen. And if you can't believe, if that seems scary, just stick around positive people like Rob's in the chat, hang out at my live stream, watch my videos, find good people that are sharing good information that you feel like you can trust, and be willing to kind of walk the path. guys, that's kind of what I got, and that's how I wanted to start things. And I just wanted to let you know, it's really nice to be back now. I mean, can we all agree that like I've been at this now a good amount of time, maybe a year and a half, publishing pretty regularly. I think there was a period of maybe 2.5 weeks where I didn't publish, but I would say, over the last 18 months, I've published a ridiculous amount of videos. Rob says, looking forward to seeing you live regularly. Rob, that's really the thing that I'm focused on now. And I want to share a little bit, one of my processes again, that has made it really easier for myself. And that is to really take things one step at a time and get to a place where I'm comfortable with what's happening. So for example, when I came back, the only thing I really tried to do was publish videos consistently. I didn't really, do a lot of promotions. I didn't really try to come up with a product to sell. I didn't like worry about live streaming too much. I was overthinking my studio, which I still do, but I think it's overthinking, but I also see it coming from a place of creative people constantly need to innovate and change things up and really strive to improve. And I held off on doing this until I got to a place where I felt like it's kind of getting dialed in. And then I want to thank Rob, because Rob invited me to a live stream, and I was a panelist, and I had kind of reconfigured this small room in my home studio downstairs. So I have a huge room over this direction, and it really allows me to have multiple different angles and a lot of depth. And it's also challenging. The ceiling is funny. It's really thin. And what I found is there's always challenges. So I just really focused on publishing videos. And then I got to a place where I was like, then I got invited from Rob to speak on his live stream panel. And this was kind of up and running. And now I'm coming back and I'm live streaming. This morning, I started writing a book that I've been thinking about for about 3 or 4 years now. I started writing new training materials about a week ago, really focusing on how to make it happen on YouTube. That's based on the book, that's based on the training course that I'll come out with. So, and to be honest, I feel like that's a little bit scatterbrained, but I also know I'm live today. I published a few days ago. I published, 8 videos last month, and I'm consistent now. So I can play, and it doesn't have to be perfect. But if you're just getting started, choose a thing and get used to it and get comfortable so you can gain momentum with publishing. That comes rather before everything, right? Consistency is publishing at least 6 pieces of content every single month, hopefully long form videos. I believe in long form videos for myself. But you can do shorts too. I would increase the number of shorts if that's what you consider consistent. I mean, check your heart, right? I mean, if you feel like you probably are not consistent, you're probably not consistent. For me right now, I want to publish probably at least 2 videos a week, but like I would be fine if I did that for a long time and then I scaled it down to 1 video a week while I was working on a course or writing a book, because this has always been my workflow, is to get something up and working before I try to branch out, which I see a lot of people not doing that. They're trying to like, how do I syndicate my content across every platform? And I want to do this. And then I'm going to write a book. And I'm like, whoa, that's a whole bunch of stuff. And what I would do is work really hard to try to dial things in and get really comfortable with a repeatable process where you can publish videos. Yeah, 6 to 8 videos a week is fine. Yeah, Roberto Blake says 3 long form videos a week. Here's the thing, like you're going to have to be okay with varying opinions. But if I say six pieces of content a month as bare minimum, it's just that. Here's the thing. There are a million ways to do it. And the more you try to find the perfect recipe, the longer you have to think about in your head, and you don't want to do that. It's not a good use of your time. Are you digging what I'm laying down? Is this making sense? Because you need to be figuring out how to improve your CTR. Is this connecting with anybody? Somebody, please. You and Rob are part of the crew I was seeing here and has caused me to strike out on this new venture. Posted my first video May 26th. Since I've posted 4 other videos with another 4 to 5 shorts. Fantastic. Keep moving forward and do your thing. Tony says, no way I could do 3 videos, especially at the quality I do, but I'm bulking in a ton of shorts and filming other stuff. This is my point exactly. Now, for those that don't know, Tony joined my coaching program years ago. We worked together for a long time. He started out like most creators from nothing, and he was kind of picking things up. And today he's got I think probably over 400,000, 300,000 subscribers. He's doing really, really well. And it just shows you, like, when you move forward and you strive to do the very best you can, you'll make it happen. Would you upload more short videos rather than long form videos? I think this is my question for you is, what do you love to do? I mean, do you want to be successful in a way that allows you to do the thing you want to do and you're passionate and excited about? Do that. Like for me personally, I dig shorts. Like I want to publish more videos and maybe shorts, but I keep kind of coming back to videos. And I have this thing about cinematic footage. It's probably why this lighting looks pretty good. You know what I mean? I've been at it a while. I've studied a lot, and I get sucked into the filmmakers on YouTube and the fancy lenses. And that's my juice. What's your juice? Take that and run with that. Like, follow your passion. And at the same time, like if you're like, well, I really need to optimize my growth. Okay, then I would say do both, right? For me, I'm at a point where I want to teach long form. I want to coach clients because I love that. It's very gratifying and rewarding. I want to teach. I want to speak on stages. And I believe I can do those things by creating long form videos. That's what I want to do. I hope that makes sense. What triggers you to change a thumbnail on a newly published video? Anybody, I'm so glad for this question, Jason. Anybody that is changing, listen, this is for everybody. If you're changing your thumbnails and you're not split testing them, I don't understand, right? We have the new A/B split testing feature. So when you're on a desktop and you upload your video, Susie Valentine, another coaching client, she says, you're the best teacher. Thank you. I appreciate that. When you're split testing a thumbnail, the thing to think about is you can change your thumbnail immediately, my friend, but then you'll actually see what the best performing thumbnail is based on the analytical data. So a lot of times what I'll do is I will change a title or a thumbnail pretty quickly. And I'm going to be honest, I think this is something that comes from experience and confidence and just kind of knowing the direction you want to go. The other day, I changed a video title from something like Cheers, How to Survive Being a Small Creator. I wasn't satisfied with the CTR in the first hour. And honestly, that might have been a mistake, because I've seen a lot of my videos have done well, and the CTR has increased on hours 3, 4, 5. Why? Because the initial response from my viewers and subscribers was good enough to push it out to different audiences. This is what happens, right? YouTube will continue to surface the video to people that have watched previous videos from you. But if you're just starting, and for anybody with a channel, they will also surface your video to new viewers that have never seen you before, right? So they do that by looking at the title, the keyword phrases, the topic, and then they look at how long people watched and your CTR. And if those metrics are good enough, then they're going to push it out to new viewers. And so what happens often for me is the CTR is okay, and then it actually increases an hour 3, 4, 5, and then I'll hold pretty steady. And then eventually, when you really have a banger, it usually tails off, because then you're driving 300 views, 400 views an hour, and the CTR starts to taper off because it's performing so well that YouTube pushes it out to a huge audience. I mean, when you're doing 400 views an hour, that's, I'm not big on math, but it's thousands and thousands of views because of math. So I would say, don't change out a thumbnail, go to desktop, always upload three versions. And here, I just want to show you guys what I do. And like, listen, this is the thing. This is the thing. My goal is to work with people and to help them move forward. And that means you got to do stuff. And a lot of you are like, well, how do I make it happen? And you're not split testing. And I get it. I am really stubborn myself, really stubborn. But eventually I started making quote unquote better thumbnails. And this is my process, and it always increases my watch time. So I'm in Canva, okay? You can see I just made this today, okay? This thumbnail right there for the live stream. And if I come back, right, I go to the home page of Canva. I'm using the app on my iPad. What I'll do, number one, is the new training I'll come out with is really how to create videos very easily, very quickly. I call them bare bones, stripped down videos, and then how to build upon that over time. And so you can see, like, these are all the thumbnails that I've made. And this is a really great example of kind of what I'm doing lately. And I love the way it looks, but that is not important. Please hear this. Please, it's so important, right? The words on the thumbnail are the way to go. Back in the day, we used to talk, and the discussion was, oh, should I have a thumbnail without any words, or should I add words to my thumbnail? And today, because we can split test or test and compare thumbnails, where you get 3 thumbnails, this is how you do it. And again, how many people have a Kitty, good to see you. Regina, nice to see you as well. And Pam in the house. Chantel made it as well. Chantel, thank you for all you do in the YouTube community. It's wicked cool. So this is what you do, back to the thumbnails. You're going to come up with your idea for your video. And personally, I don't necessarily have to have the title perfectly figured out, but the moment I go to press record, the more I have a really strong idea, the better. And I just boom, I'm like, have you felt like struggling on YouTube is just so unfair? This is how to move forward and trigger the algorithm if you're a small creator. Okay, so the title might be how to trigger the algorithm as a small creator. And notice I reflected that in the intro, what I just said. Right now, what I can do is I've got a title that's powerful. It contains keyword phrases. It really hints upon the emotional toil of being a small creator and how to move forward. And now what I can do is I can create one image from a screen capture. So if you're on your phone, all you do is you watch your video when you're done and you screen capture a clean image, right? And then you just add a few words to your thumbnail. That's it. That's all you have to do. But here's the important part. And I've talked about this ridiculously a lot, but it's just, you need to hear it, because if you're not doing it, well, then eventually maybe you will. And if you haven't heard about it, this is the most powerful thing right now on YouTube, because it does boost watch time. Like it works. So you want to trigger human emotion in different kinds. So you might trigger FOMO, fear of missing out. You might trigger desire. You might come up with a phrase triggering desire, like get more views. Or you might trigger something based more on fear, like, well, I kind of suck. I'm afraid it's not going to work. Then the phrase in your thumbnail is, even if you suck. And if you're a regular viewer, you've heard me talk about this endlessly because it's so effective. Every time I use even if you suck in my thumbnail, it outperforms everything else. What shows you the power of being compelling. It's not that your thumbnail is visually aesthetically pleasing. That ain't it. It's not that, you know, you're creating something about you. You really have to tailor your title and your thumbnail for the viewer. You need to tap into the emotion they're feeling, and then you need to, like, that's the start of the process. And by split testing 3 different thumbnails, you can do, you know, even if you suck, how to get more views, and even as a small creator. And I guarantee that those will perform incredibly different because the messages are very different. What I see people doing a lot is they ask questions about, like, what thumbnail do you like best? And the message is so similar. And I'm like, that ain't it. That is not it. I see your posts everywhere, have for ages, and your videos being promoted loads. You know, yeah, we're getting there, Tony. I still have some work to do, but I just think that's the life of a creative. Is, you know, anybody here that is a YouTuber and wants more views, I want you to think about your favorite musical group. Whether it's rap, hip hop, jazz, think about their best album, think about how many hits they have, and then think about how many songs they've released. So I'm a big Prince fan, and saw Prince many times in concert, saw him at Paisley Park. Now it's a museum. I was there in the day. And he has written thousands and thousands of songs, and maybe 25 of them cracked the top 40. So to think for a moment that we can create, you know, videos every day that constantly blow up is ridiculous. And that's not how it works for creatives. You're lucky in the music industry to have one album that goes, you know, you won the Grammys. You don't get to do that every album you publish. You don't get to publish a video and it's not going to blow up every time. And I just want to share that with you because it's something I've thought about a lot. And furthermore, you know, when I think about my channel and the amount of creators that teach YouTube, that still teach YouTube, that have done it for a long time, it's thin and far between. You know, I'm good friends with Nick Nimmin, and we started this thing around the same time. And I remember sending Nick a message and saying, you know, wow, I really love what you're doing. You're talented. And we became friends. And, you know, he's stayed the most consistent out of all of us. And it's really a pleasure to watch. And now he's kind of backed off on publishing videos, but he's there every Saturday with a live stream. And furthermore, he's solidified his place in the community as a leader, as a teacher, as an incredible creative, and people trust him. And now he's, you know, he's creating apps. He's, you know, he does his music videos. He does all these things. But to think that any of us, hey, Rose, nice to see you. Any of us can do that. You know, to publish a video and it just blows up every time is not really the way to go about it, in my opinion. Hey, Steve, good to see you. I'm documenting my own YouTube growth passing, and I learn to other creators as a niche. I'm sort of thinking, do I really have value to offer? Okay, I see your question. Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure I've seen your channel. I think you've, yeah, I'm almost positive I've seen your channel, and you do. Like, you don't need a license, you don't need a PhD, you don't need an approval from your mom or your dad or your spouse. You can do whatever you want, and there's plenty of value to add. Just by showing up again and again, I think is inspiring for people. Sharing and documenting your journey is something I did too. And here's if you want the secret sauce, since you're kind of in my same niche, no one gives a shit, brother. Like, you want to say, watch me start with my channel from zero. Ain't nobody clicking that. Sad but true. Now, I still do some of that, but I know how the game is played. and I just want to do what I want to do. But most of the time I publish videos about getting views, and you're thinking, I haven't got any views. Keep listening. Getting views, getting subscribers, the YouTube algorithm, YouTube monetization, brand deals, making money, and so on. That's the game on this platform. And it's really, really hard. And people that say, man, the amount of hate on the YouTube platform is kind of pissing me off. And the thing I want to say to everybody is, please don't do that. Please don't hate on creators because we're gurus, or we teach YouTube, or it's so easy, or people mentioning, YouTube creators are douches, or filmmakers thinking that they're elevated. Like, I just see so much hate these days, and it really makes me sad. But the thing to do is just realize that you need to find an in what you need. What I did and what worked for me is you need proof of concept. So the thing to think about is you want to show people that what you're doing is effective. And the fact is, there are plenty of teachers that teach YouTube, and they don't have a channel and they don't drive views, but they have results with their clients. So you can release a course, connect with people, somehow get it in people's hands, and then talk about their results. Or the path I took was I started off with 3 or 4 topics. I talked about editing with an iPhone, branding, YouTube growth. Those were the 3 primary drivers. Anything about YouTube growth got crushed. It's just so hard. It's so very hard. But when I started publishing about editing on a phone, those videos immediately did well because there are some niches that are easier. The truth be told, though, if you're thinking, well, I need to find the niche that's going to be the easiest, I think you really have to honor what you're excited about, because it's too brutally hard. And you'll be tired of talking about topics you're not excited about. You won't enjoy making videos for years about things you don't care about. So I think you start with a list of all the topics you could cover as a creator, and then you move forward, you choose one, and so on. And Steve, for you, like, this is something you can do. Think about how you can get results talking about editing, or talking about branding, or talking about something, and just show a little bit of growth. I call this kind of stair stepping. When I started selling products, what I wanted to show people is this is how to make a lot of money, but I hadn't done it. So what do? Well, what else do they want? They want to make money. They need traffic. Oh, I know, I can talk and teach people how to get traffic. So I made courses about that. You see what I'm saying? So you need to think, well, people want to drive views. They need to edit. They want to edit. Some of them, they need to make thumbnails, editing, lighting, cameras, maybe filming with an iPhone. You see what I'm saying? This is how I would move forward. Hey, Dewey, good to see you. The thing I want to encourage everybody here is just that it's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's not. You know what I mean? Some days are hard. Just being a human being, there are days that are hard and challenging. And the thing that we can do is just acknowledge that. When the going gets tough and you're having a tough day, don't make a video. When you're really struggling personally, take some time off. YouTube will be here. I did that, and I feel so grateful. I believe in what I do big time, and I'm proud of the people that I've helped and whatnot. And when I came out with an offer, I offered a triple your money back guarantee, meaning that if you're not satisfied and you want your money back, I'll give it to you no matter what. And if you follow the course and you do some things, I'll give you double your money back. And if you do all the things, and you do all the things, and you upload videos, and you're at it for a number of months, I'll triple your money back, because I believe in what I teach. And I also know that, some days it's not going to work out as we had hoped right away. You might have to launch one channel to get on the path to find a new direction in another channel. You might launch a channel, stay in that channel, stay with that channel for a number of years to come up with a new style of how you make your videos. You might be afraid to put yourself out there, to speak on camera, but in time you might find that I'm going to do it anyway, because I think this is maybe a different path, and I should try it. And you might still struggle, and then all of a sudden your 13th video when you're sharing yourself on camera blows up. This is how it works for creators who win. Everybody that you're watching, everybody, every single YouTube creator that you look up to spent a lot of time grinding it out. So don't think that you can skip that part, because when you do that, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you're not focused on what I spoke about earlier, which is really understanding what's most important and moving forward. My views have seemed to hit a plateau. I've been here many, many times. I remember about 3 months ago, chatting with my pal, Daniel Battelle. Another individual came to me. I think he's got 300,000 subscribers now. He's doing really well, works with DaVinci Resolve, makes great money. And, you know, I kind of talked about the struggle and I just wasn't sure. And then literally then within a week, I published like 4 videos, and I think 3 of them did really good for where my channel is at. So you just somehow you have to stick with it. And the thing I think you really need to honor is, what do you need to improve? You know, what do I need to do to get to the next level? Like for me personally, I'll watch this live stream back a little bit, maybe tomorrow morning, and I'll look at how I communicated on camera. I'll look at my presentation, my tonality, my empathy. And I'm trying to be, I'll always be passionate. I'll always be slightly quirky from time to time, but I'm also trying to just be really empathetic and connect with you on an individual basis. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. And I had great feedback on one of my last videos I published that had great average view duration, tons of comments. And the thing I always focus on is how I communicate. So I would say if you're not focused on that, you're kind of missing the deal on YouTube. If you're not on camera, you're like, well, I'm not on camera. You still can emulate that by having a guide. So right now I'm the guide. I'm guiding you through this live stream. I'm taking questions. I'm answering your thoughts and concerns. I'm sharing my personal experience, right? I'm guiding the viewer through the video, through the live stream, through the webinar sales presentation, through an email, whatever it is, through my book. And you can do that too. And furthermore, I want to say for those of you that are not on camera, like, no hate. I think that's the fact that you're making videos is awesome. But like, I see a lot of like, I don't know if it's lazy videos, but videos that like the titles are, they're just not going to appeal to a broad audience. Like if you don't spend the time to understand, if you don't take the time to really understand what a group of viewers are responding to, you're going to struggle. And it's really hard to understand what a group of viewers are going to respond to when you don't have a niche. How do you study? It's too big. You know what I mean? Hey, can everybody here just thank Doug Hewson as well as Chantel? A lot of really amazing people in the live stream right now that have been really, really helpful with the live streaming community. Doug is on my friend Nick Nimen's live stream every Saturday. Chantel is also there. A lot of people dedicate their time so you can jump in and have a nice live streaming experience. And honestly, right now we're kind of flying without a net, and yet I'm pretty sure Doug, he does. Doug has a wrench, so anybody with any bad behavior, Doug will take care of them. Hey, Detours, good to see you, my friend. Was thinking about you the other day. I hope you're well. Jeff, it's Jeff, right? I haven't seen you on Facebook in a while, my friend. I hope you're good. So just think about that. You know, like Doug has been there and really makes our lives better for those of us that enjoy live streams. Indeed. Thank you to Doug. Oh, what happened? You guys are really commenting too much. I need you to hold back. You know, remember earlier we did a little test and I said, let me know and leave some comments. We're up to 93 viewers now. That's pretty cool. I think here we go. Steve said, thanks to Doug and Chantel. Cheers. Hey, who's got a question? Let's keep this thing rolling. And who's digging this? Like, what do you guys want to see from my channel? I mean, honestly, I think it's most important to honor what I want to do and what you want to do. Like when I say that, it's not just about me, but when people say, oh, like they poll their audience, like I don't do that too often. I really don't. I think that it's important that I'm really inspired and excited to bring content that you want to click on. Like, you know, when Steve Jobs tasked the team and said, we need to make one of these. This iPhone, people don't know they want it, but when they start using this, this will change the world. Have I uploaded a video that you've regretted? Sure, absolutely. I've uploaded videos that a few times I've deleted. I made one that was so good about CTR, and I used the word clickbait, and people just they can't hear what I have to say, which is sad because I never clickbait. No one comes to a Brian Johnson video and doesn't leave with something unless you're like jaded, pissed off, and angry, and then I can't help you. But generally, I try to load my videos with some kind of actionable advice. But this particular video, I used clickbait in the title, and how the audience thinks about clickbait and how I think about it are two different things. They win. The click-through rate was very low, and I was really disappointed. And we all struggle as creators from time to time. You know, I go through it all the time. I had some really tough times, but I keep coming back to YouTube. Even when I was away, I still sort of uploaded videos. You know, I think this channel didn't have a video for 8 months, but I was uploading on a different channel. And honestly, I was preparing for the next phase, and I needed to take a step back for personal reasons. How do you personally get by a video that doesn't live up to what you think it should do? I think that's the problem, my friend, right? Like, read the question. What's the problem with the question? What do you think I would say, Jason? What do you think? Anybody have an idea how I would respond to this? To me, clickbait is when you don't deliver. Yeah, I always deliver. I just, you know, I'm like, how I think about clickbait is, expectations. Yeah, Kitty, exactly. Expectations. Anytime I start thinking like I published a video to my channel, and I remember it was the first video that I kind of scripted out, and I was very like section by section, and I used ChatGPT to help me and come up with hooks. And I just didn't say, you know, give me a video. No, it was like, this is the intro, this is the first bullet, this is the next bullet. And it was powerful and strong. And the opening, the cinematic bokeh and it's like I walk into the frame, I like turn my head and I walk out, and people said, oh my God, that was beautiful. The filming, the cinematography, the way you communicated, it looked like $1 million. But that video, it didn't do that great. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. And honestly, it wasn't so bad, because for me personally, Jason, like I get so much fulfillment out of chasing this YouTube thing. Like I love making videos. I think I start putting, you know, thoughts and ideas of what a video should get. Is when I'm really in trouble. So food for thought. You know, here's something I think is really interesting. Now, here is Simplify Gardening, Tony, and he mentions I script every single video, very specific, single power sentence, every single video. And I think there's a lot of power in doing that. And in my new book, I'll talk about doing that thing. And I'll talk about building out like hero videos, like this video I mentioned where I scripted it out. I had tons of incredible, like I went downtown and I had city buildings, bokeh, like this blurred out kind of bokeh. It was like, wow. And it did okay. But I also know there's so much power in communicating straight to the lens and just free flowing, like speaking from your heart and just using your experience. And when you start making videos in this manner, and what's cool is like you can come up with a basic idea for your video. You jump on your phone, right? You get ChatGPT and you're like, hey, this is my video title or somewhere around it. I want you to give me 30 bullet points based on this topic. Also give me 20 video titles that are compelling and are also no more than 55 characters. Boom. That's the outline. You look at the thing and you just like, I don't need to prepare to talk about YouTube growth. I've done it for 8 years. A lot of people don't believe me. Like they expect more views. They expect talking about expectations, but almost always those people haven't really done it. Like I think you're successful when people keep coming back to your video and to your channel. They keep showing up year after year, you know, being asked to speak on stages year after year, selling courses without trying to sell anything because you're just passionate and you speak from the heart. I don't need to research and study. Like I need to have my pulse on what's happening. I need to be aware, but then I can just come to the camera and I can start out, I can have an intro, and I will practice my intro. I will cut my video. I will say a few lines multiple times, but that saves me time with scripting. And I think this is a really, really powerful way to go. And I think over time, what happens is for a lot of creators is they get really great with how they communicate on camera, which is the #1 skill that drives growth. Like when you understand a great title, a great thumbnail, but you suck at camera presence, you will struggle. When you can do an okay title and an okay thumbnail, but you're amazing on camera, you can blow up. So for me, and what's interesting is for Simply Gardening, Tony, I'm not saying he's doing it wrong, because I used to do that all the time too. Like I scripted almost all my videos, almost word for word, and I took a lot of I took a lot of pride in that. But it doesn't mean that I don't care about my videos just as much. I'm just leveraging a different strategy. So one of the strategies I use is this bare bones video structure, simple, fast, communicating to the camera without much of a script, but improving that video to video. And then now and then doing the opposite and planning things out and striving to really connect and so on. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Nice to see you, my friend. Tell me a story. That is telling my story. Okay, telling my story. Born 100 years too late. I love your channel name, my friend. Fantastic. Regina, good to see you. It is important to find what works for you. Exactly. Like exactly. And what's interesting is like all the creators that I know that are thriving, they're always improving. They're always trying new things. That's why you see YouTubers constantly changing their backdrop and reorganizing, because they're trying to do something for themselves as much as the audience, as much as the audience, if you get where I'm going. I think it was this one. Do you use any LinkedIn when promoting a YouTube channel? No, the only thing I do really to promote my YouTube videos is I make YouTube videos and I honor the platform. That works the best. I have a group of, I think, 13,000 YouTubers on Facebook, and it's pretty active. It's not the leading group, but it's one of them. It's pretty active community. And the amount of views that I get when I share my video there pales in comparison to the amount of views I get from Google and so on, just by really being mindful of how the algorithm works and how I'm striving to get views. A lot of the times it's like, this could do well in browse, this could do well in search. Sometimes they do well in both. I think that is the way to go. I think a lot of people probably spend time trying to figure out like how to promote their video, and yet all the channels that you're watching that drives insane views, that came from the algorithm. So I like to focus on that. John says, I just found you and I like your content. There you go. So it's how it works. Like, think about this. The last comment I said, I just found you. So, John found my video, and now I'm just doing my best to honor the audience most of the time while honoring myself some of the time. Sometimes I published a video, hey, I got married, or I might publish a video about a camera, which most of my audience isn't really excited about. But now and then I'll do that to satisfy my creative itch. And some people do want to know and so on. So I think that's pretty cool too. Yeah, good luck with your video, my friend. What gear? I hope it crushes. Jason says it's really interesting to run a guitar channel where we do very little to optimize things, but instead just rely on the guitar teacher's pure talent. People don't care about all the bells and whistles. Man, this is like, everything I've really said on this live stream, Jason, I feel fits in really well with what you're saying, because I've talked about like the 10 most important things. And the number one thing is how you communicate. Like, people don't care unless you can do the thing well. So if you're teaching guitar and the guitarist sucks, it's not going to work. And if you're a pretty good guitar player, I would think if you're a pretty good guitar player, but you can communicate on camera well and you can structure the actual video well, I think that's kind of where the juice is. So for me, having a title that is working is really important in this particular niche. Having a pretty good thumbnail is pretty important. But what's really interesting is when you've got a channel that's based on a utility channel, like how to play guitar, how to garden, and so on. Nothing is more important than the lesson being taught and whether or not the audience believes. So if someone can pick up a guitar and crush it, they're going to do well. Pocket Creator. If you posted a video and it doesn't start off getting the views, CTR that you feel like, again, oh man, this is really, really tricky. I think in this position, when you're not sure and you feel like right there, expectations. But to be fair, like for me personally, I want 5% CTR kind of out of the gate. Sometimes I don't get that and I might deviate. But when you're getting started, you don't have a baseline. There's nothing that you really understand as to how something should perform. So I think there's far more value, really. There's far more value in saying for 90 days, I'm going to publish a lot of videos. I'm going to test different types of keyword phrases, different types of subtopics in my niche, and I'm going to keep going. And then I'm going to catch my breath and I'm going to look back. So when you say like, what do you think you need to have in terms of CTR? Like I mentioned, 10%, that's the goal, 10%. For me, I'm not going to get 10%. It's just not going to happen. It's, for me personally, getting anything above 5% is okay. Getting anything above 6% is very good. And getting anything above 7% is fantastic, especially after the first 24 hours. But here's the thing. What I really think is I don't think this is going to help you. I don't. I think you've got to grind it out, put in the work, and pay attention to topics that have done well, and don't get too attached to the performance of individual videos. And I think you need to sprint for a season, like I'm talking about, making these bare bone videos, simplifying things, practicing communication on camera, and just hit it. Come up with a way to make videos quickly while still honoring what's most important. The title, the thumbnail, we talked about thumbnails. all of these things, when you do it again and again every third day, right? And you're like, well, I've got a full-time job. I can only imagine really busy, but I also know you can. Where's my phone? Here it is. You can take your phone, you can go like this, you can put it on your tripod that's in your car or at home in a bedroom that you use, even when kids are around, and you can film a video quickly. It might seem odd, it might seem uncomfortable, but you can do that. And if you do it relentlessly across 50 videos in 3 to 4 months, I guarantee you're going to see a boost in performance. And furthermore, you're going to have the ideas as to how to move forward. So that's what I would say. I would say you really want to try to get at least 5%, but you might not be there. So the thing to do is make better thumbnails, which we talked about. The thing to do is really also honor and understand that it's really the video title first, but the thumbnail supplements the packaging and so on. I mean, yeah, honestly, friend, you're just reading too much into it, man. I mean, here's my answer. Rarely. I believe the results that I want in everybody in this live stream right now will come from videos they have not yet published. Is anybody satisfied with their results and you're good? You don't need to publish your best video ever. If anybody here is totally satisfied and doesn't want to publish their best performing video ever in the coming 6 months, let me know. Nobody? Okay, something to think about is that like honor creating a workflow that you can repeat and just get up to speed with publishing a lot, and try not to make too many second guesses and trying to optimize your past catalog. I don't personally think that's a way to get the results you want, because I see a lot of creators and their videos aren't good enough. If someone doesn't connect with you when the video starts, that's a problem. And how do you get good at that? By making a lot of videos. Is this making sense? Anybody? Anybody? Let me see where we're at. Don't worry about your text, Pocket Creator. I do voice dictation all the time. And I always say I don't understand how people are worried that AI is going to take over the world, and yet voice dictation sucks. Has anybody understood that? Yeah, I love that. I always post as soon as I made it. Yeah, when the video's done, I upload it. If you're wondering, like, when is the best time to publish, this is how I answer this question moving forward. I don't think I've ever answered it this way. I sort of have, but now I have a second half that I believe is really powerful. If you're wondering when the best time to upload your next video to maximize your results, it's the moment you're done, and here's why. You want to offload the mental struggle of thinking about the video that's now finished. How many of you, if a video is finished and you're wondering, when do I publish it, are you thinking about your next video? Are you watching what's happening on YouTube? Because there might be a huge opportunity that you miss. Something's trending, but you missed it because I'm waiting to release the video I made yesterday. The best day is going to be tomorrow. Not a snowball's chance in hell. When you release the video, your mind is free and you can start moving forward. Even better is that I released a video a number of days ago at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. That video did really, really well and still drives 30 to 40 views an hour, today. I think it's somewhere around 13,000 views, something like that. Not quite, 11,400 views. And today I started getting pushed again. Yeah, today, like the high point was not quite 40 or 50, 36 views. But those really add up. That's in 1 hour. Like multiply that out. On average, 20 to 30 views an hour. Yeah, and here's the thing. I'm not sure I agree with that to train your audience to look for videos at the same time of day. Here's the thing. When you make the best videos possible, they will be there. Do you think your audience wants you to train them to tune in at a certain time? Now, for a live stream, when Rob goes live at the same time, powerful. It's a show. In my opinion, that is different. They're showing up at a specific time to participate in something live. But for me personally, I rather focus on making a better video. And there's a lot of ways to do that. So for me personally, I think that makes sense. However, I totally get your point. And for a long time, that was a really great way to do things. But for me personally, like I don't like being strapped down to publishing on these days, because I just think for me, again, personally, it makes a lot of sense to publish the video and to move on and keep moving forward. So it doesn't matter when you publish? No, I mean, what really matters, here's the thing, whether you have a schedule or not, the schedule will not make your video get more views. It will not. The only way you get more views is when your video has exceptional watch time metrics. That's it, right? So for me personally, I want to focus on those things. I want to focus on figuring out how to communicate to keep viewers watching. I want to figure out the best title and topic to cover in my next video. I want to figure out my editing, my graphic design for my thumbnails, which is simple, but looks pretty good enough. But I also want to figure out the psychological triggers that will cause someone to click. So those are the things that drive views, not when you publish. It never has been. It never will be. Just like YouTube tags, they don't matter. Anyway, and here's the thing, like it doesn't really matter. If you want to have a schedule, have a schedule. But I think what does matter is let that go. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it. Don't talk about it tonight over dinner. Talk about how you're going to get more people to click on your videos. That's a really powerful way to absolutely get more views. When you go from 2% to 4%, you just doubled your views, doubled your watch time. That's what to focus on. And that's what my message is when I teach, is really getting clear on what matters. When you publish, it ain't it, in my opinion. Man, I have really enjoyed this. It's been fantastic. Let's take another question. You guys got questions? The times people are watching isn't in your hands. Yeah, people are going to come onto YouTube and my video is waiting for them. So it's all good. Like, you know what I mean? I see a surge in the morning and so on. Look at when the most popular channels do it. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Like, I mean, do that, dude. Like, that's awesome if that's what you want to do. Like, I think I see a lot of really popular, great channels that don't. There's no one way. There really isn't. So I just think it makes sense to find a way that works well for you. And if you want to have your video come out every Wednesday, that's awesome. And people will wait. That will become part of what you're about. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? How do you handle imposter syndrome? Yeah, this is a really great question. Oh my goodness. I think the thing to think about, too many T's there, is that the moment you really get comfortable with who you are and what you're offering, the better. And how do you get there? By kicking fear in the face and doing the thing. And furthermore, my experience is the more you really show up on a regular basis and the more you follow best practices, having a niche really matters. When you publish your video, okay, sure, take it or leave it, but having a niche, critical. Dialing in your video title, really powerful and will lead to more views. So I think the more you do it anyway, to the best of your ability. You just step in front of the camera and you're okay with where you're at, which took a lot of time for me, you know. But one of the things I saw is I did have people commenting. So when you publish regularly, you follow the best practices, I guarantee you will get some comments along the way. And the more you continue, the more that typically grows. And then at some point, I got to the point where I said, well, wait a minute, because I was kind of had this imposter syndrome, kind of felt like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't have as many views as I should, or Nick Nimmin is killing me. But I'm like, man, imagine a world where there's only one ice cream. Nick Nimmin is a flavor of ice cream on YouTube. People love Nick for what he does. People also love me for what I do. And I know when I connect with music, I don't give a darn about whether or not they won a Grammy. I just know, do I like the music? And at a certain point, I'm like, Jesus, Brian, what are you doing to yourself? You have all these people that watch your videos and they keep coming back. It's not just thousands of views, it's truly a community. You speak at events, people buy your products and courses. Like, what more do you want? And I got to a point where I was like, you know, I'm pretty good at what I do. And it doesn't mean I don't have dark days, because I do. But more of the time, I try to remind myself of what I'm doing, because life is fleeting and life goes by pretty fast. You know, what did Ferris Bueller say? If you don't stop and look around once in a while, it may pass you by. And I don't want to spend my days wondering and worrying why I didn't get as many views as Nick Nimmin. What a horrible way to live. I want to rejoice in the fact that I'm Iggy Pop. I'm a kind of a little eccentric. I'm a little weird. You never know what I'm going to do next. It's always a new angle, a new studio. It's a vlog, a new style. And that might not be the best, but it's Brian G. Johnson. And I have helped a lot of people. So I want to find that balance. And, you know, the more I just did the thing and just had this conversation with myself, like, when is it enough? Because the moment you just say to yourself, I don't need to do this anymore. And I might not be great at letting it go right now, but I'm going to celebrate the fact that it is working. You know, 77 people still watching. We had a high point in the live stream of close to 100 people. And I haven't live streamed in a real long time. And I published, you know, a bunch of videos lately that are driving 10,000 views, 30,000 views, 50,000 views. That's pretty good. Not a lot of people do that in a challenging niche. A lot of people think it's easy. It ain't. It's really a tough niche. So I think the moment you can start having that conversation with yourself and you can say, hey, when is it going to be enough? Because the moment you can start appreciating your journey right now, today, the better. Do I think doing both shorts and long form content can hurt your channel? I don't think so. But I do think that if you want to make a decision based on what you love, do that. If you want to do both because you see it's a way for you to gain a community and whatnot, do that. I really don't think it's going to hurt your channel long term. But what I would say is see how it goes. Do shorts and do long form content for a period of time and see how it brings your channel up or not, and then reevaluate. How long did it take to get confident on camera and therefore more engaging? It's the hardest part for me. It's the hardest part for anybody, period. Getting comfortable on camera, speaking from the heart, being authentic, like, took me a long time, took me a lot of videos, but there are some things you can do, like, you know, shake it out before you film. If you're feeling anxious, jump around, run around the house, get tired. If you're filming and you keep stuttering and making mistakes, don't use that video, start again. And that anxiety will drop some because you'll get tired and so on. Hey, TED Talks Base. Ted, if you're still here, man, I just want to take a moment and thank you. I usually try to stay really honed in on my train of thought. I just want to take a moment and say a big shout out for Ted Talkspace. I really appreciate $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Ted. Awesome. Yeah, I just want to, highlight Ted and say thank you again. Highlight his comment on the stream. It means a lot getting a super chat, so thank you. I got demonetized because of reused content, the most depressing thing ever. Yeah, it really is, my friend. I'm really sorry to hear that. I would say, are you on camera? If no, are you doing your own voiceovers? I would reach out to YouTube. I would reach out to Team Help, I think it is. Reach out to various people anywhere on Twitter, X, it's like Team YouTube, Team Help YouTube, something like that. Try to get your channel reinstated. But this is for anybody. Like, it's okay to use B-roll, but if you like your videos are AI voice driven, if you're not on camera, if your videos look like a lot of other videos, that's a problem. Don't do that. I'm sorry to hear that, brother, man. That is really depressing. Here's the good news, man. There's so many ways to monetize YouTube. Most of the money I've made has not come from the YouTube Partner Program. Hasn't. It's been from affiliate marketing, product sales, and so on. And you might not have an idea of how to make that work now, but in the future you might. I'm at over 200 videos and I still have issues with being on camera. I'm going to a conference soon. I want to interview people in public. It can be really challenging. Here's something that's interesting. So I totally get it. And for me, it took a long time too. Have you guys seen some of the vlog style videos I did over the last 3 months? I would say about 30 to 40% of the videos were vlog style. I got so comfortable that I had my wife filming me while I was like just literally going through my day. Hey, babe, film me. We're getting gas. She jumps out of the car. I'm like, this is kind of the frame. I'm opening the door, kind of follow me around. Let's do a close up of me, the credit card in. And I didn't care. But the way you get there is you bite off a small little piece of that fear. So right now, when I'm in my home studio, I'm not too fearful of the camera because I've done it enough. But if you're fearful of that, just confront it and say, hey, I'm nervous and it's going to be awkward. And I'm probably going to feel like this for a while until I don't. And I guarantee about the 10th time, it'll be a lot easier than the first time. And maybe by the 100th time, you'll start trying different things. And maybe a year or two later, you'll be like me, getting filmed, pumping gas with people around and so on. So anybody can make it happen in terms of getting comfortable, and it's really powerful. Hey, Brian, I'm back. I'm backing this up to the beginning. I don't want to miss a second. Sounds awesome. Yeah, this has been, I think, a really good live stream. What do you guys think? Give me your honest feedback. If you've been watching this for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes, what did I do well? What was weird? Let me know. I'd love to. I want to get better too, and I appreciate the feedback. It's interesting too. Like, I just feel different about my journey and about who I am, and I do have more confidence today. And it took me a while, like going through divorce was hard, and rediscovering, who I am and remembering I'm a creative person. I had to go through those times. And that's okay. I get to do that. So really appreciate it. I don't know if Susie counts because Susie just likes me and so on. I enjoyed it, but it's killing my schedule for doing a review. I'm going to give that a pretty good, for me, pretty good, but I'm not sure about you. But you know what, Grandpa, like, I'm sad that I missed you when we were in Texas, but I appreciate you being a part of the community and seeing you, my friend. Communication was great. You rock. You always give great advice, relatable. You keep missing my question. And the one time I got it, you didn't ask. And here's the thing, my friend, I've got 76 people here. It's hard to hit them all. So when I'm wrapping up a question, that's when you hit it. Okay. More of these. Definitely. You rock, guys. You are so kind. please answer. Oh, you guys, you got to help me out. Feel free to type in the question, okay? Yeah, Stall, type in your question now. I'll wait for you, okay? I'll have a sip of water. Again, please type out your question now. I need help, and you're the guy that's going to do it. Okay, I'm going to take a question. I'm going to take another question in a few moments. Oh my goodness. Yeah, do those A/B testing. Just use the method that I mentioned, Jason, right? Wow. Okay, maybe he left. Like, if you're still here, dude, like, answer your question. Ask your question, please. Like, maybe you're upset. Ah, oh my goodness. I have 365 subscribers and 5,000 watch hours. Am I missing something? Yeah, your expectations are out of whack. Like, your journey is your journey. Like, you're missing something and I don't know what it is. Do you have a niche? Are you on camera? If you're not on camera, are you using a voiceover? How are your video titles? Are you using great video titles? Really focus on what's truly most important, and you can learn that. Like, this is a very general, basic. It's not, in my opinion, I'm going to be honest with you, my friend, and nothing but respect. This is not a question, and you don't have any idea what you're doing, is my guess. You got to learn the skills and abilities. Like, the fact that you have 5,000 watch hours, that's fantastic. That's really good. But you also have 368 subscribers, which means people are not connecting, or they would be subscribing. Are you on camera? If no, can you make a voiceover? If no, get good. And I mean really good, with an AI voice chat bot, and leverage that to guide the viewers through. Choose a subject that has meat and tell a story or teach something, and so on. That's my advice. And feel free to leave a comment based on what you think. Like, let's start a conversation. I want to welcome a new friend. And Tangerine Door, number one, your door is beautiful. And I'm going to tell my wife that she needs to paint the door. She mentioned that, and she wants to paint our door. And I really love your videos, because you're doing the thing I just mentioned for that viewer who's struggling, it would seem. You're on camera, you're sharing your passion. Man, I love it. Really cool stuff. Hey, what's up? Marcus, good to see you, man. I'm doing good, brother. Good to see you. Affiliate Marketing MC in the house, another great YouTuber, doing fantastic. And it's great to see you. Well, I am talking directly to you, you goofball. I just really appreciate seeing you. And I think it's so cool. Like, you're giving me the pathway forward. I want to keep creating as long as I want to keep creating. I don't want to stop because I feel too old. And you're not old. You're young, and you're vibrant, and you're youthful, and you're older. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's beautiful. Hi, Brian. You're due brave to go live, but I'm so glad I decided to log on this afternoon. I appreciate the advice and counsel. Like, for me personally, honestly, I enjoy going live, but I was pretty nervous when I started. Do you guys want to hear a funny story? So imagine this: I'm doing a live stream for TubeBuddy, and I worked with them extensively back in the day. In fact, I pinged the creator, Phil, who really was the the brains behind TubeBuddy, and he put it together, and he put a team together. And he reached out and he wanted me to live stream on their channel once a month. And I introduced TubeBuddy and Phil to Nick. And we kind of had this team of people that worked with TubeBuddy. It was really amazing. And where am I going? Oh, the live stream. And I first started, and I remember they had just come out, YouTube had just come out with live streaming with a cell phone, mobile. And I had my little microphone set up, and I'm on a tripod, you know, and I'm trying hard to like communicate, and I'm jumping around, and I still have a lot of energy for a 59-year-old today. But you know, 8 years ago at 51, I looked about 45 according to the general census, and I acted about 25, and I accidentally spit, and it hit the lens. I had a special lens on the camera. And there was a bit of, oh my God. And there was another one where I lived in the mountains and my internet connection was horrible. And I was running and turning off the internet and booting back up. And I'm praying, please, this is a paid gig. And Phil was always so gracious. He's like, man, this is just a small company. We love what you do. Don't even sweat it. You're awesome. No. Not at all. Long form videos are not dying. There will always be tons of people that love long form videos. Anybody here watch primarily long form videos? Let's just back this up with some data. What do you prefer watching, long form or short form? I'm curious. Let us have it. Or maybe both. I watch a little bit of short form, but honestly, not too much. On my form a little bit, but I wake up in the morning, I make a cappuccino, I grab my remote control, I eat my granola with my raspberries, I drink my cappuccino, and I watch long form videos about music, about YouTube, about communication, about traveling, and so on. Long form, I mostly watch long form. Mostly watch long form videos. Overwhelmingly long form videos. I only watch long form videos. Long form video, long form, long form, long form. Okay, that's enough of that goofiness here. Anybody else with a question, a comment? Seems like my internet connection is better than it's been in the past. I don't see any flickering or any delays. I think that answered it too. But you know, I get it though. Like, you know, maybe the individuals, maybe her views are dropping. Maybe her friends are saying, "Oh, short form all the way." We're influenced by, you know, what's around us. So I watched the beginning now. Perfection. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Oh, look at that Dirty Harry icon. My wife and I watched the original Dirty Harry maybe a couple weeks ago. Shorts are annoying. How do we get traction on community posts as a small channel? Check this out. First of all, I think the more you can really make your posts and your videos about the person reading or watching, the better. The more you can really understand what they want, and then you can package it in a way that's really exciting, and you practice, the more likely your post, your community post, will get traction. I actually, check this out. Let's talk about AI. I'm guessing, I don't know, but I'm going to guess because I think I have the pulse on the people that watch me. I bet you kind of hate AI right now. I really love it, but I hate the way it's being used. And I'm doing all kinds of things that are really interesting that you're not aware of, and I'm using AI. So how many of you saw a community post from me? It had an image of real-time views, and it was like 8,900 views. Did anybody see that? I woke up in the morning as I'm sipping my cappuccino. I'm looking, and I always want to connect somehow most of the time. I post to my community feed pretty regularly. And I knew I had this video that had done well. So my first bit of advice is to really get clear on what your viewers want, from comfort to confidence. Okay, so like, to me, that says that some of your viewers are not confident. Tap into that, or tell a story about how you became confident. And for me, what you guys want is more views and how to do it, and advice and guidance to make that a reality. And I had a video that did pretty well. I think a lot of people would be happy to publish a video that gets, I think it was about 3,200 views in the first 24 hours, which is pretty good. So I'm like, okay, I have ammunition. The ammunition is the results they want. I took a screenshot and I formatted it in a square, because the community post formats images in a square. So that's the first thing I did. And then all I did was, I'm waking up, I'm pretty groggy for a while. I don't have to go to work. This is what I do for a living. So I'm lazy, and I talk to ChatGPT and I'm like, hey, I want to create a post, talk about my results. I got these views if you're struggling. And it gave me a good post. I'm like, not too long, but it's got to be meaty, something people can read in 30 seconds. And it was pretty good. But here's what's interesting. And I think this is how I will teach using AI in the future. It could have been better because it didn't reflect that this is about the viewer. I wanted everybody that clicked on their phone or clicked on their computer and saw that community post, I wanted them to feel like this was written for me, or I wanted them to think this is my story. So I said, ChatGPT, this is good, but I want you to write this for the audience, the viewers. They're struggling. I want you just to replace the first few sentences and then get into the results. I want you to talk about how I've struggled too. So I really tried to, one, understand the audience and the community. Two, I want to understand exactly what they're all about. And this is why you have to have a niche. This is another thing that, like, I'm so excited about my teaching because I've done it so long that I'm getting better. Like, I feel that these thought processes are a higher level than what I did years ago, right? This is the benefit of understanding your audience and your niche. So for me, then ChatGPT comes back and all I had to do was just barely coherent, not even, half a cup of coffee down, just still waking up. And I've got a beautiful post. It was very easy. And then I didn't stop there. I took it to the next level. And this is absolutely, hey, Dewey, take care, man. Good to see you. This is absolutely the power of AI, is for those people that are smart and use it in a smart way. They will get better, they will do more, and they will move faster, right? I'm writing scripts when I write them in 25% of the time that I used to spend. It's still my content. It's still my essence, right? And then I said, now take this post and format it for people on Facebook, many of whom are not on YouTube. I've got a lot of people that follow me on Facebook. So I'm like, hey, the post comes back and it's like, if you're a creator, I wanted to connect with you today. I'm like, brilliant. And that's exactly how I am really using my community feed, but there is more. This is how to get wicked. If anybody here wants to do a collaboration and get a lot of subscribers and a lot of views without the hassle, this is how you do it. You want to hang out with those in your community. They're not your competitors, in my opinion, but you want to be aware of who's doing it, who's the mover and shaker. And you want to hang out with those individuals, and you want to, just let them know, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, and that's it. And then over time, some of those people you'll form relationships with. And here's what you can do. You can become strategic with community posts. And you can say, hey, anytime you want me to share a piece of content, I have no problem doing that. Let me know. And then when they do that and they come to you and they're like, hey, can you share my video? You bet, boom, share the video. And then you do this with 4 or 5 people, like for me, it's Roberto Blake, Nick Nimmin, Owen Hemsath, Daniel Battelle. Think about those channels all sharing one of my videos. Yes, please. And that started not with me trying to do a brand deal, or I should say a collaboration. That was me not trying to get shouted out. That was me being a human being and saying, hey, you're doing great. No really objectives at the time, you know. And then over time, we built up a relationship. And what you can do is you can really be strategic. I remember back in the day, I wanted to test the algorithm. I had a theory that if one of my videos got a lot of views from the algorithm and those viewers responded, the algorithm would give me more views. So Roberto shared, Nick shared, Daniel Battelle shared. The video did about 4 or 5 thousands of views in the first 2 days. And the views kept coming, and it got a lot more views from the algorithm, not from my high profile, very important, big, influential YouTubers, not from them sharing, right? But rather because the algorithm connected more viewers, it gave the algorithm more data and so on. So those are some thoughts about the community tab. Really great question, because the community tab is really powerful stuff. I'm trying to see. Here we go. How often do you suggest to post to the community? For me personally, I mean, I don't take any of this stuff too, intentional. I'm trying to publish 3 long form videos a week is great. 2 is fantastic. So I'm trying to publish 2 to 3 times a week. And then I'm just like, I like to create, I'm writing, and I'm thinking, well, I just had this video do well. So on one of the days when I'm not uploading, I share it in my community feed. And I think that's great. In fact, sometimes I'll publish the next day to my community feed. I think the thing to honor is not the frequency, but the value that you're bringing. So for the people that are here, and they've been watching for an hour now, I know I must be delivering some value to them, or they wouldn't be here. They wouldn't come back again and again. And I think the more you move forward, the more you'll understand what to publish, how much to publish, and so on. And other people, like, I forget the guy's name, but he was like, oh, I think it's important to have a schedule. That's cool. Do that. Like, you'll find your own path, but I wouldn't get too hung up. Like, I think publishing to the community tab once or twice a week is great. If you're publishing 2 to 3 long form videos a week, which can be a lot. If you're publishing 1 or 2 videos, then at least, do two times a week would be great, I think, as a starting point. I would say autism twins. I think you've got to take a hard look on what you need to improve and then publish 2 videos a week to do that. Are your titles really dialed in? Are you great at titles? How about your thumbnails? Are you using test and compare with your thumbnails? Do you know my philosophy about triggering the psychology of a viewer with different emotions like desire, FOMO, fear? If you said no to a few of those things, that's what you need to do. Like, it is like, you've got to focus on what's most important, allowing you to move forward and get better results. So that's what I would say. Hey, gang, that's it. It's been 2 hours. I think we did it. Did we do it? Was this good? Should we do this again? It has been such a pleasure, man. I really dug hanging out. This worked out great for me. I started writing some stuff about YouTube. It didn't work out. Spent about 2 hours with an AI tool that might have helped me write a new book. Not going to use it. Not a problem. These things are to be expected. And what I want to let you know is the moment you decide that it shall be, the moment you decide to kick down the door of opportunity as you announce your arrival wherever life may take you, is the moment you will start seeing results. Decide it shall be. Upload those videos, course forward, and just tell yourself this one thing. Who's going to say it with me? Come on. Who's going to say this one simple thing with me? Anybody in the house? Little Poet coming in at the tail end of what a live stream. Say it with me. No matter what happens, I'm going to upload another video. I dare you. No matter what happens, I'm going to upload another video. Can you dig what I'm laying down? I mean, seriously, who here wants to make it happen? If you do, just say it with me. You know what? Whatever happens, I'm going to upload another video while striving to improve the things that really matter to the viewers in the audience I want to connect with. The human beings that are out there. The people like Little Poet and Justin Brown from Primal Video. The OGs of YouTube, tuning in to Brian G. The moment you decide it shall be is the moment you will capture that thing. Can I get a hallelujah? I'll see you later. Peace, power, and pixie dust. It was a live stream and it was alive, but now it's dead. And you were here